Let me paint a picture for you. You wake up, reach for your phone, and find absolute silence. Not just poor signal, but total digital death. Wi-Fi's vanished, TV's static, and your smartwatch is just a watch. This isn't a glitch. It's the world's digital heartbeat flatlining for days, weeks, maybe longer. I know that icy fear in your gut. I feel it too. But hiding won't help. Let's talk honestly about what happens when the internet dies. Not to scare you, but to empower you. Because understanding the storm is how we build your shelter. Part 1. The first 72 hours, when silence breeds chaos. Don't mistake that eerie quiet for peace. Beneath the surface, everything unravels fast. Communication dies instantly. Your phone's useless, landlines might cough weakly if they're ancient, and satellite lines jam solid. Suddenly you can't call your mom, text your kid at school, or even trust that 911 hears you. That crushing isolation feeds rumors that spread like wildfire, twisting into pure panic. Money vanishes before your eyes, ATMs go blank, cards refuse to swipe, and digital wallets become worthless. That cash under your mattress? Suddenly priceless, but everyone's desperately grabbing for it. Paychecks evaporate, bills go unpaid, and worst of all, trucks full of food grind to a halt because their payments are digital too. Stores slam shut, forcing you to trade a bag of rice for medicine just to survive. Empty shelves tell a grim story. That intricate dance bringing food to your table relies entirely on internet signals. Trucks get lost without GPS, warehouses turn blind, ships sit idle, and the flow of food, medicine, even diapers and fuel stops cold. Shelves empty faster than you can blink, and pharmacies can't access your prescriptions, turning something like finding insulin into a nightmare. Streets become parking lots. Modern traffic lights, which talk to each other online, start flashing madly or die completely, locking cities in gridlock. GPS vanishes, ride-shares disappear, buses and trains run blind, and planes get grounded. Even gas stations with power can't pump fuel without digital payments trapping you where you stand. Hospitals plunge into crisis. Despite backup power, their digital brains flatline. Your medical history, allergies, medications, gone. Refills can't be verified, cloud-dependent diagnostics fail, and ambulances lose coordination without GPS. Treating anything beyond a broken arm becomes a terrifying gamble. Lights flicker toward darkness. Power plants might run, but the entire grid relies on internet chatter to stay balanced. Without it, keeping lights on everywhere gets dangerously unstable, making rolling blackouts a terrifying reality, while reporting outages feels like shouting into a void. Part 2, days 3 through 14, when society starts to fracture. The shock fades, revealing a harsher reality. The economy collapses completely. Markets close, global trade freezes, businesses can't function, and jobs vanish overnight. Your savings are locked in a digital vault you can't open, while prices for scraps of food or water skyrocket, forcing you to barter heirlooms for beans. Hunger and thirst become relentless stalkers. Empty shelves just stay barren while food rots in fields or sits in trucks, and refrigerators fail during blackouts. Your pantry? Well, it dwindles fast. Tap water turns risky if treatment plants glitch, and bottled water vanishes instantly, making the hunt for your next meal and safe water an all-consuming struggle. Isolation deepens. Gas stations run dry, heating oil vanishes, and diesel for critical generators becomes a fiercely guarded treasure. Your car, it becomes useless, trapping you in your neighborhood like an island cut off from the world. Safety evaporates. 911 goes silent, police and ambulances are crippled by dead comms, and response times just vanish. Looting strips pharmacies and stores bare, desperation fuels home invasions and violence over scraps, and trust in any one official dissolves completely. Truth is the first casualty. Without news or fact-checking, terrifying rumors and wild conspiracies rush in, spreading panic that twists communities against each other and fuels dangerous scapegoating. Fear poisons community. Isolated, worried about distant loved ones, and fighting for the last can of soup, Even good people turn desperate, fracturing neighborhoods into us versus them battlegrounds where cities feel like pressure cookers just ready to explode. Part 3, weeks later, facing a new, darker world. If the silence lingers, we're not recovering, we're rebuilding from ashes. Industry grinds to a halt. Factories stop without parts, digital controls, or markets. Making vital medicine or fertilizer becomes impossible, and fixing even a water pump feels hopeless without online manuals or spare parts. Farming becomes a desperate fight. High-tech agriculture just fails without GPS, sensors, or global supplies. Planting and harvesting turns, well, brutal. Local gardens start to starve without seeds or knowledge that, honestly, was once just a click away, and hunger, it becomes a chronic gnawing reality. Medicine, yeah, it reverts to the basics. Hospitals exhaust antibiotics, surgeries become deadly gambles without diagnostics, and preventable diseases just resurge. Mental health really crumbles under the strain, and care shrinks to stitching wounds and, just easing suffering. Governments stumble into darkness. National leaders falter without communication or data. Taxes and welfare, they just halt. Power shifts locally to mayors with no resources, martial law becomes likely, and honestly, anger simmers toward a boiling point. Knowledge slips through our fingers. How do you fix a generator, treat a strange fever, or preserve meat without power? That vast digital library slams shut, leaving precious but limited physical books as fragile lifelines to a forgotten world, making rebuilding feel impossible. Our minds bear the heaviest burden. Constant fear, grief for the lost world, and the sheer exhaustion of survival breed epidemics of depression, anxiety, and PTSD, where hope feels like a single, fragile candle in a hurricane. Part 4. Build resilience now. The scary part's over. Focus on your power. Start today. This is practical resilience, not doom bunkers. Water equals life, right? So here's what you gotta do. Store 1 gallon per person per day. Maybe start with 2 weeks, but, aim for a month if you can. Remember to rotate your water every 6 months. It's also super important to know your local sources. Go ahead and map them out. When it comes to purification, make sure you have 3 ways: filter, bleach, about 8 drops per gallon, and boiling. Oh, and don't forget, you can catch rainwater using just a tarp and a barrel. Food is sanity, plain and simple. Stock up on what you actually eat, stuff like rice, beans, and canned goods, and yeah, make sure to rotate your supply. It's a good idea to learn canning and dehydrating too. For cooking off the grid, try a camp stove, rocket stove, or even a solar oven. If you can, grow something yourself and, save those seeds for next time. Safety really comes down to awareness. Get to know your neighbors and your escape routes. Make sure your home is secure with strong doors and locks, and maybe use blackout curtains. Try to avoid drawing attention. Think about light, sound, and even smells. Building trust in your community is key because there's real strength in numbers. And remember, defense should always be your last resort. Know the laws and try to de-escalate situations first whenever possible. So, health is, absolutely essential. Make sure you have a first aid kit stocked with things like a tourniquet, some clotting gauze, pain meds, and antibiotics, though you'll want to do a bit of research on those. It's a good idea to keep a 90-day buffer of your medications, along with paper prescriptions just in case. Don't forget a dental emergency kit too. For hygiene, you'll need basics like soap, bleach, and some kind of emergency toilet setup. When it comes to communication and information, a hand-cranked NOAA radio is, honestly, essential. Walkie-talkies are great for keeping in touch with your family. And don't forget to print out maps and medical guides. You really can't rely on just your phone for everything. Skills are basically currency in a tough situation. You'll want to master things like fire starting, water purification, using a map and compass, and first aid. Seriously, practice these skills because, in the end, knowledge is going to outlast any gear you have. Mental strength isn't about never feeling fear, it's about turning that fear into action, even if it's just tackling small daily tasks. And hey, sometimes the best thing you can do is find calm in the present moment, maybe through breath work or just spending a little time in nature. Simple routines can make a world of difference. And don't forget, it's totally okay to lean on your tribe and share the burden. You're definitely not alone in this. Yes, the thought of this digital silence is terrifying. The isolation, the vanished money, the empty shelves, the gridlock, the broken hospitals, the darkness, it's overwhelming. I feel that weight too. But here's the powerful truth. Your readiness is within your control. You can't fix the internet, but you can choose preparedness. Start simple. Start today. Fill a few extra water jugs. Buy an extra bag of rice. Learn how to purify water with bleach. Have a real conversation with your neighbor. Fix that loose lock. Print a map of your town. Every single step, no matter how small, builds an unshakable confidence deep within you. If that unthinkable silence ever falls, you'll calmly reach for your water. You'll light your lamp. You'll cook a simple meal. You'll connect with your people. You'll use your skills. Not because you're invincible, but because you chose readiness over fear. You chose to be ready. And for reliable long-term food reserves, READYWISE offers peace of mind. Check the links in the video description. Stay strong, stay prepared, friend.